Hey guys, it's me, Halloween Dan, doing a really little video today because I haven't got really much more to talk about. I've got loads I've got to do and get ready. Now we're in the last we're in the sort of second half almost of October, so there's loads and loads to do. But I really just wanted to sort of show you guys where I was up to, what I've got planned, what I'm doing, what's working and what isn't, and just would be interested to hear if you're in the similar position to me, or maybe you're more advanced along this road. Either way, let's get into this. So guys, we're at that point now where I've got the majority of my stuff down from the loft. This isn't the animatronics though, so there is a lot missing actually. I haven't got any of the animatronics down. This is just all the static props and all the bits and bobs, things that we use to decorate the house and all that kind of stuff, along with the new things that I've bought, which are down in that corner. And today I just thought I was going to go through a few bits because I am intending on sort of starting my horn. I am thinking about just sort of getting things ready. This weekend is really when I want to start my horn properly, put out a few ghosts, put out the lights, maybe put out the pillars. But I'm toying with the idea of maybe putting out the pillars today, to be honest, and also the little fence that goes around the garden. Just anything that I can do in advance that will make life a little bit easier as the weeks go on. But today, just for now, I wanted to sort of run through some of my props here. They're really, really terribly organised, and I want to sort of go through them a little bit and see what's worth keeping, not keeping, what I'm going to use and what I'm not going to use. Yeah, let's have a rummage through. So the first couple of bags are basically my ghosts. I like ghosts. This is my big ghost that we usually hang sort of outside by this bay window, and I usually sort of try to stretch his sort of veil out a little bit so he looks like he's reaching out. We've got a bit of a selection of ghosts. They're all slightly different. Some are very cheap, some were not that cheap. We've got everything from just a plastic glow-in-the-dark ghost, which is probably about 15 years old, which we used to just use in our parties, to proper full-size fabric ghosts. And there's a ghost, this guy down here, when his batteries work, his eyes light up and he goes up and down on the thing he hangs from, making spooky noises. This guy, when his batteries work, he kind of leers forward and talks. And then these ones just kind of are static props. Some of them are questionable. Some of them are not too bad. These ones really, with the sort of skull underneath and the big sort of sheet over them, they're actually quite effective. And when they're lit by a black light or even just a normal light, they do look quite cool. I love the little Reaper guy. He's one of my favourites. We've had him for many, many years. He always finds a nice home in our haunt. So these are the ghosts. I think I've got a couple more actually. I've probably got a couple more of this guy anyway somewhere. But these are the main selection of ghosts that we have. And these are always the first things that go out into our haunt. For the first maybe week, our haunt is mainly just lights and ghosts and possibly a couple of tombstones. I've not made my mind up yet. But all the animatronics and the main lights and all the big stuff doesn't really come out until a bit later on. So I've just opened this bag, guys, and I can smell the unmistakable smell of mold. So this clearly was stuff that I didn't dry out particularly well. This is a bag of skeletons and bones. There's a piece of cardboard in here covered in mold. That's gross. The skeleton you can see. So this guy was made out of plaster. So stupidly, I left it outside in all weathers last year, and it's basically rotten. Look at it. It's a horrendous, horrible mess of a thing. I mean, if I'm honest, it kind of looks quite cool. It looks like a real old mouldy skeleton. So I might keep him. I mean, it's gross, but it does look kind of cool. I don't know. We might just use it for one more season and throw it away after the season. But the rest of it's just kind of plastic and plastic bones and skeleton bits. We've got my static witch with a magic ball, who she's surprisingly, for such a basic prop, surprisingly creepy, and actually freaks quite a lot of the kids out. A bag full of cheap plastic foam tombstones, which every year I promise I'm going to make them better, but never actually do. Over here though are my tombstones that I made last year. You'll see I'm a Goner and Noah Escape. Now you can see I'm a Goner in particular has suffered some damage, and also I know last year it fell off its base, so I am going to have to do some repair work on these two, but I'm still quite happy with how they look, and they'll definitely go well. Tombstone, the moving tombstone that I've made, so that's kind of cool. These are some of our ornaments. I think our bloody candles have had their day. We've got all sorts of things. We've got like a pumpkin melt warmer, a little Frankenstein candle holder there, potion bottles. They're all, you can't go wrong with potion bottles. Little light up ghost, does he really? Yeah, oh look at him. He's cute. Great. More candle holders. They could do with a wash, but we've got some fake candles here, which have sort of got a bit damaged, but you know, a plastic cup. Oh, you know, that's Halloween without a plastic cup. Oh, look, another ghost. A skull candle holder. More potion bottles. It's like a witch unpacking her luggage. We've got our great big skull, still with residue from last Halloween in it, which is gross. He is quite cool. Oh, look, a bloody candle. He might still sort of work, maybe. And then this guy, which is a lantern that I got last year. Let's see if it works. It does work, but look, this is the one. I got it last year, and it's supposed to flicker flame in on the flame, but it flicker flames down here. It's clearly not right. It's a nice little prop in its own right. In here are a selection of lights. We've got floodlights. We've got some black lights in there. I've got a great big long black light and some party lights for a party. Here's my bubbling cauldron, which this year I'll only really be using. Well, I will use the cauldron, but I'll only really be using the I can't remember what it's called. It's like a misting thing. Use that to create a mist effect in our bigger cauldron that we're making for the witches. In here is party decorations. That's our inflatable tree, which I don't know whether I'm going to use this year. We've got more lights and things down there in that bag, which is going to be an absolute nightmare to try and sort out. In this box is our giant 7-foot spider. We've got our animated Bump and Go ghost, which is still in the box, which I'm leaving in the box for a while anyway, because he's incredibly annoying. Down there's our smoke machine, but it's the ghosts in particular and the skeletons that will go into the horn first of all. Probably with some tombstones. We'll just sort of see how it goes really. But the main animatronics, which I am yet to get down from the loft, won't really join our horn or really come down. I'm thinking of bringing them downstairs maybe on Sunday, and then in the sort of next week I'll sort of do a rundown of all my animatronics and make sure they're all working and everything, ready for the last week of October, which is when I put out the majority of stuff for my horn. I just want to show you guys one more thing, or a couple more things that I've done in the last week or so to sort of go into the horn. So let's have a look at that. So guys, please forgive me. For a carpenter, I am not. This is at least some sort of what I want my ship to look like. This is the pirate ship, if you haven't yet guessed. It isn't finished. I've got repair work to do now because it fell over in the wind and it's actually broken on this side. And I've also got some more planks I want to put across it. But I think you get the gist of what I'm going for here. It is meant to look, supposed to look, like a very broken carcass of a pirate ship. It's falling apart, literally, and that's how it's supposed to look, believe it or not. And I have got some more planks I want to add in all kinds of different directions. I wanted to add some sort of going in the opposite direction and across ways and back ways and all that sort of things. I've got a post to add in there, and this will be the mast. And this will all get attached to this pallet that's at the back, and this is supporting it. It did fall over in the wind this morning, so it's clearly not supported particularly well. Yeah, but in general, it's basically a nightmare of screws and nails sticking all over the place. It certainly is not child friendly. So luckily this is going to go into a part of our haunt where no one can access it, and I just have to make sure I secure it down properly because it fell over in the wind today. So I have to make sure it's screwed down to the pallet, probably anchored into the floor, because otherwise it will definitely go flying and take someone out, and then I'll have a serious issue. Over here is a more simple prop, which I think looks kind of good. It's very simple. We went to the woods, we got some sticks, I tied them up, and we hung a cauldron. The cauldron is going to have that fog maker in it, so it's going to kind of look kind of cool. If I get time, I was going to age the cauldron a bit, sort of make it look like a spooky spell is happening in it. But I don't know, as a thing it looks quite cool. You get the gist, you know what it is, no one's confused by this. I might add some simple lights underneath it just to sort of make it look a bit like a fire beneath it. I'm not going for the spray foam with lights embedded in it and all the detail of that, although it looks really cool and epic. I haven't got the time. I'm not doing that yet. Maybe next year. But this year, this will suffice for what I want. And the pirate ship, like I say, with a bit more TLC and a few more planks of wood, I think will look actually pretty good. I think you'll get the gist anyway of what it's supposed to be. I have got a steering wheel to put on it as well, and like I say, this will be the mast, and I'm going to have a black sail. So I don't think you'll be overly confused as to what it's supposed to be. It's just not been overly excellently put together, but you know, this is kind of my style. A bit rough and ready is my style. It's what I go for. So guys, I thought I'd just give you a quick look and to see where I was up to, what I'm doing. I still got loads to do, loads to get down from the loft, loads to finish off making and doing and whatever. Really, this just marks the kind of start for me. I know there's lots of you guys out there in America, and even some of you guys here in the UK, that are definitely full speed ahead on your haunts and what you're doing and what you're making, and your displays are up. There's a guy literally in our neighborhood whose full display is up and it looks really, really good. I am nowhere near that yet. I mean, the weather, I always worry too much about the weather, to be honest, and it's not the best right now, so I don't really want to put anything out that's going to get overly damaged. And I do kind of just like saving it for that last week of October. I don't want to put too much out right now, and then by the time you get to Halloween, everyone's already seen it. I kind of want it to be for that last week of October and for Halloween itself. Part of me almost sometimes wants to leave some things for Halloween. Don't put anything. There are certain maybe animatronics that I only want to put out on Halloween itself. But then I kind of feel like I wouldn't get the best out of them. I wouldn't get the most out of them. So yeah, either way, I'm at the starting blocks now. It's really time to start thinking about my display now and what we're going to put up in the house. And yeah, I'm kind of on that page, and I wonder if you are too. If you are, let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to hear where you're up to with your haunt and your Halloween in general. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this random video today, and I will see you in the next one. Keep spooky. Bye.